Welcome back, guys. So I've done my research. I went through past papers from grade 10 to grade 12, and I found that in a lot of question papers that are there, you are given the formula of a cone and the volume of an area. I don't know if your curriculum, but for CAPS curriculum, you are always given the area of a cone and the volume of a cone. So in other words, I don't have to stress on telling you where that kind of formula come from. I just need to tell you so that they can be able to know how to use it in your exam. So the formula of the formula of an area of a cone, is equals to pi r squared plus pi r s. So what you need to understand there is you need to understand the variables that are used here and what does it mean actually. So the r here, the r is the radius, but the s is what we call a slightly height. A slightly height. So the slant height is not the same as the perpendicular height. The slant height is the one that is on the side of a cone. For example, here is 5 centimeter. This side, which is coming here, is what? Is a slant height, and then the perpendicular height is the one that is perpendicular to what? To the side that is chosen as a base, to the base actually of the circle. So the S here, it stands for the slant height. Your teacher may use any different letter they like. In other textbooks, they love to use the letter L here. So it's still going to be the same. The letters does not matter. What matters is for you to understand the formula. So now let's just substitute what we are given here. So it's going to be pi. What is our radius? Our radius is 3 squared plus pi 3 squared. And our slant height is what? Our slant height is 5, which is 5 centimeter. So if you work this one out there in your calculator, you're going to get 42 pi, which if you round it into 2 decimal places, you're going to get into the decimals, you're going to get 131.95 centimeter squared. Don't forget the unit are very important. So now let's go for the volume of what? The volume of a cone actually. What is the volume of a cone? One other thing I want you to understand is that any object that has to do with triangles, that has to do with triangular prism, something like that, that has to have, how can I explain this? It has, on its volume, it has 1/3. I don't know why. It has, all of them, it has 1/3 there. And also the formula of this are going to be given. So it goes like this. It has pi r squared multiplied by the height. This one is a little bit understandable. The 1/3, I don't know where does it come from on this kind of formula. I have not done my research on that, but it's not important for you to know where does that kind of 1/3 come from, because they're going to give you this kind of a formula. And then the pi r squared is the area of the base multiplied by the height, which is this one. So before you substitute anything to a formula, guys, now I want you to know this. In measurement, there's a lot of marks if you can be able to show your calculation, where do you get this kind of H, where do you get this kind of an R if you are not given, So if you can take a look at this cone, we are not given the height here, but the height and the slant height and the radius, they connect us to what? To the right angle triangle, which means we can find the height by using the Pythagoras theorem, So the Pythagorean theorem says r squared, which is equals to x squared plus y squared. So this is a theorem of Pythagoras. I hope by now you know this kind of theorem. So here we're going to have the 5, which is the slant height, plus the x, which is the equal to 3 squared plus, and then our y is going to be our h squared. So this is the height that we're looking for. Perfect. So we're going to take this one. I'm going to be a little bit fast here. I want to just save time. So it's going to be h squared, which is equals to 5 squared minus 3 squared. I just take this one to the other sides, and then these are going to square this one, and then our h is going to be, pay to attention that here you're going to get 2 answers, but it does not matter. The negative, you cannot find the height of a negative, so we're bound to use to find them the positive one actually. So if you work this one in a calculator, you're going to get 4 centimeter. So now that you have calculated your height, they're going to give you the marks of using the Pythagoras and getting the height. It's very, very important to do that. Show all your calculation in measurement, guys. There are 3 marks there. For using the Pythagoras, you're going to get the marks. So now let's just substitute to our formula. Pi, this is 1/3, pi, and then our r is 3 squared multiplied by what is our height. Our height, we just calculated it here, is 4 centimeter. So if you work this one out in a calculator, you're going to get 12 pi, which if you round it into decimals, you're going to get 37.70 centimeters cube. Since this one is a volume, So what I want you to take away in this kind of video is that the area and the volume of a cone, you are always given the formula if you are in the CAPS curriculum. In the CAPS curriculum for grade 10, 11, and 12, you're always given the formula of a cone and the volume of a cone. What you need to understand is the letters and how to differentiate them. Here we have a slant height, here we have a perpendicular height. And to find the perpendicular height, you always use the Pythagoras. And sometimes you can find the object whereby you are given the height, you don't have a slant height. You can always use the Pythagoras to find the missing side that you need there. So this is it for this video. See you on my next video. Sharp.